In question 5, we're given 5 numbers across the top there, and we're asked to write them starting with the smallest, working our way to the largest. What I like to do is line these up in a column down here and then decide which is the largest one. Now we've lined all the numbers up, we can see that the first number is 0.78. And if you note that it's only got 2 decimal places, but the number below it is 0.607, and that's got 1, 2, 3. Now to make it easy for me, I can add a 0 there as a helper. Now I've got 3 decimal places. Same thing here. This says 5.6, and I can add 1 0 and 2 zeros as helpers. Now if I look at all my 5 numbers, they're all 1, 2, 3 decimal places. Now the first thing I do, I always look at the column on the left, because this is the largest number. So I look at this column, and I go down here and I look for the largest number. And if I look carefully, I know it's a 5. So I know that number there is my largest number. So I'm going to put that last in my list. So it will go here. 5.6. So I've done that one. Now I'm going to go back to this column and look down here again and look for my next largest number. I can see it's a 4. So this number here, 4.003, is my next number. So I'll put that number here, 4.003. Now I'll go back to that column, 0, 0, 0. I can't tell the difference because they're all the same. So now I move on to the next column. So I'm now going to look at this column here. And I go down here. I've only got 1, 2, 3 numbers that I've not crossed out. So I look at the 7, the 6, and the 0. I can tell straight away that the 7 is the largest number here. So I cross that out. And I put that number here. So 0.78. So I've checked this one, and I forgot to include this, so let me just tick that one. So now I've got rid of 0.78, 5.6 and 4.003. I now have 2 numbers left, so I go down this column again, and I can see that's a 6 and that's a 0, and the 6 is bigger, so I cross that out and I put this here, 0.607. So I can cross that off, and I've only got 1 number left in this list, and that is 0.098. And now my numbers are in order from smallest to largest. 0.098, 0.607, 0.78, 4.003, and finally 5.6. Question 6 tells us that we have a 4-meter ribbon and we're going to cut it into 3 pieces. Our first piece of ribbon is 1.28 meters. And the second piece is 1.65 meters. So if I draw it out and I say my ribbon is 4 meters long. My first piece that I cut from here to here is 1.28 meters. And my second piece is 1.65 meters. And I now need to work out what length is left. What is my third piece? So this piece here that is left over, I need to work out how many meters it is. So what I need to do is really add these two up first. So carefully, 1.28 add 1.65 meters. Let me bring this decimal point down. Okay, so it's 8 add 5 is 13. Put the 3 down, carry the 1 over. 2 add 6 is 8. Add the 1 that I've carried over, which makes it 9. So I put 9 in this column. And I move on to the ones column, or the units column. 1 add 1 is 2. So my answer is 2 meters 93 centimeters, or 2.93 meters. That's how much ribbon I've cut. I now need to find out what ribbon I've got left from these 4 meters. So what I would do is 4 take away 2.93. Now I have to be careful. This is a whole number and this has got 2 decimal places. So I'll do a column subtraction. 4 take away 2.93. To help me, what I will do is I'll put the decimal point down and 2 placeholders or 2 helpers. Now what I do is I do 0 take away 3. I can't do, so I have to borrow 1, but I can't borrow 1 from there because that's a 0. So this 0 goes over to the neighbour and the 4 becomes a 3, and the 1 we've borrowed turns this 0 into a 10. So this 0 can borrow 1 from here. So this 10, we cross that out and it becomes a 9. And the 1 we borrow here turns that 0 into a 10. So now we have 10 take away 3, or 10 subtract 3, which is 7. 9 take away 9, which is 0. Now we carefully bring this decimal point down and line it up. 3 take away 2, which is 1. So the answer is 1.07 meters. So the piece that's left over here is 1.07 meters.